going on, everyone? Lilith here. American Express has 17 cards on the personal side, and if you include business cards, we're talking about 31 total credit cards. Of the 17 on the personal side, there are 4 cards that are co-branded with the specific airline. All 4 are with Delta Airlines. And of those 4, there's 2 of them that have no annual fee in the first year, and they're the Delta Blue and the Delta Gold. With that, in this video, we'll be going over the Delta Blue versus the Delta Gold, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly what you need to know to make a well-informed decision for your next steps. And more importantly, I'll be covering credit card strategy regarding these 2 choices at the later part of the video. So with that, you know how it is. We'll get straight into it. Starting us off with the annual fees, the Delta Blue and the Delta Gold have a $0 annual fee in year 1, and in year 2, the Delta Blue is still going to be 0, while the Delta Gold, you'll have a $99 annual fee from then and going forward each and every year. From a new card member bonus perspective, bonuses are consistently changing, yet at the same time, with the Delta Blue, you're looking at 10,000 miles after $500 a minimum spend in the first 3 months, and with the Gold, you're looking at 70,000 Delta Sky miles after $2,000 in spend in the first 3 months. Earning structure-wise, both of these cards earn a currency known as Delta Sky Miles. It's not cash back, it's going to be purely an airline miles currency with Delta Airlines. They can be redeemed for different items, but primarily we're going to be looking at it from a Delta flight perspective. With the Delta Blue, we're looking at 2 times Sky Miles on all Delta purchases, as well as restaurants, and 1x everywhere else. With the Delta Gold, you're looking at 2x on US restaurants, US supermarkets, 2x on Delta purchases, and 1x everywhere else. Delta miles are usually worth 1 to 1.3 cents per point. This could mean you could get a $130 flight for 10,000 miles. Taking a conservative approach and saying each Delta Sky Mile equals 1 penny, that's essentially saying with the Delta Blue, where we're getting 10,000 miles, we're essentially getting 10,000 pennies after $500 in minimum spend, which is essentially $100 after $500 in spend, resulting in 20% back for redeeming on Delta. Likewise, if you take 70K, divide that by $2,000 in minimum spend, we're looking at 35% back. There's some benefits that come with either the Delta Blue or the Delta Gold. Feel free to pause, and I'll mention the ones that I think are the most important. There are 2 of them that I want to highlight, and it's going to be Delta Gold's capability to get your first checked bag for free for you and up to 8 other companions on the same reservation. At the time of this recording, each checked bag costs $30 per person per one way. In other words, if you're traveling with yourself and 1 companion and you take a round trip, that's essentially saying 30 plus 30 one way in terms of 1 bag for each person in terms of value you're getting if you choose to check in. And then again, that 30 plus 30 on the way back. So 60 plus 60 equals 120, which is more than the annual fee of $99 that it would be in the long term. At the same time, the second one I want to highlight is essentially where if you spend $10,000 or more on the Delta Gold card, you actually get $100 in terms of a Delta credit. This flight credit has certain restrictions, which I'm going to put on screen because they're pretty important to read through, because you're not going to be able to purchase certain things, for example, baggage, upgrades, and other miscellaneous fees/items. Yet at the same time, if you can use that credit for a flight, it could be worth it if you get that full value. Because if you're getting $100 after 10K in spend, then it's essentially getting an extra % back on that 10K of spend. Essentially, if you're spending $833.33 on average every month, you'll hit this 10K, but one thing to know is this. You'll get a $100 Delta credit after the 10,000 in spend, but not for each and every 10,000 in spend. That being said, this 1% extra cash back is up to 10K, but let's say if you spend 100K on this card, you're basically getting an extra 0.1% in value, so it basically diminishes after that 10K point. With that, let's keep it going. Let's talk credit card strategy. Option 1 is super simple. If you have a rule in your life where you never pay annual fees no matter what the situation is, then naturally you're going to have to choose the Delta Blue between the Delta Blue and the Delta Gold, or choose neither in this case, as the Delta Gold, as we know in year 2, bumps up to that $99 annual fee. From there, if we're looking at option 2, where you're deciding between the Blue and the Gold and looking to maximize the number of Delta Sky Miles you want to earn, this is what I personally do, not financial advice. Let's get into it. As we covered, the current offer for the Delta Gold is getting 70,000 Delta Sky Miles after $2,000 in minimum spend after the first 3 months. For context, a few years ago, the public offer for the Delta Gold used to be 30,000 miles. This actually is a very good offer. At the same time, Amex has a once-in-a-lifetime rule. Simply put, means that when you get a bonus from a particular product, aka card in this situation, you're not going to be able to get a bonus on that same product in your whole lifetime ever again. With this being the case and looking for points maximization, we really want to make sure that, hey, if I'm applying for this product, I want to make sure that this is the time I want to apply for said product. A big disclaimer is if this is the first card you're applying for with American Express, know the following. If you've never had a relationship with them, you may be targeted for supremely high offers or the highest of high offers. For example, with the American Express Platinum card, not to be confused with the Delta Platinum card, you could be targeted for a bonus as high as 150,000 membership reward points. The normal offer is 100,000 points, so getting 50,000 extra points is essentially, when you do the math, almost like earning 2 bonuses for 1 credit card. And I say this because you can transfer those membership reward points to Delta SkyMiles. The American Express Platinum card does come with an annual fee of $695. I made a video about it, you can check it out here, but let's go back to the pure strategy between the blue and the gold. We have a couple options. We'll go with option 2 and option 3. So the first one is going to be where we apply for the Delta Blue first, where we're getting that bonus of, let's say, 10,000 miles at this time for $500 in minimum spend. And then we can actually apply for the Delta Gold and get that other bonus. This way we're getting both bonuses, and since the Delta Blue has no annual fee, you're basically going to have the Delta Gold, which has an annual fee in year 2, but in general, as long as you're able to hit those minimum spend requirements, overall you'd be able to get both bonuses separately. You just need to hit your credit a couple times. Generally speaking, when it comes to hard inquiries and your credit score, it's not the biggest effect. It's usually just a short-term hit, and then you're back to normal in a few months. Credit inquiries on your credit report drop off every 24 months on a rolling basis. That being said, the next option is going to deal with only pulling your credit once. With option 3, we're going to be applying for the Delta SkyMiles Gold card. Given we hit the new card member bonus terms, we'll get the bonus in year 1, but in year 2, we're not going to cancel the card. We're actually going to do something known as a product change. A product change is essentially a product conversion, where without hitting your credit, you're able to switch from one product to another. In this situation, we can go from the gold card and downgrade it to the blue card. When it comes to product changes, different banks have different rules, but generally speaking, you're not going to be getting a new card member bonus for that other product. So for example, if we go from the Delta Gold to the Delta Blue, because we product change to it, we won't be eligible for that new card member bonus. And because we go to the blue card in this situation, if you've never had it before, you won't be able to get those 10,000 miles after $500 in spend in general in your whole lifetime due to Amex's rule. The reason we would do this is because when your annual fee hits after year 1, you have 30 days when it hits to get that full amount reimbursed. At the same time, let's say you cancel 3 months later, you don't actually lose the full 99, it would just be prorated. Simply put, let's say you downgrade after 18 months, the first 12 months, aka year 1, it was $0 annual fee. But in that year 2, in those 6 months, we would get a refund of half of that $99. The fun begins at this part, where essentially, let's say 2 years have gone by now. So year 1, you had the gold card. Now year 2, you have the Delta Blue card. In year 3, chances are, if you're doing at least some minimal spend on this card, you may be targeted for an upgrade bonus. An upgrade bonus may not be as huge as a new card member bonus. In other words, maybe we won't get 70K miles to go back to the gold from the blue. At the same time, maybe it's a cool 20,000 miles for spending, let's say, $1,000 in the first 3 months. Just an example, what you get targeted for could really just depend. Overall, if you want no frills, just no kind of thinking about it, because there's no annual fee, maybe the Delta Gold is the one to choose. On the other end, if you're looking at the Delta Gold as a keeper card, because maybe you're getting full advantage of that first check bag free perk, and at the same time, maybe you're spending 10K organically on that card without overthinking it, where you're getting that $100 Delta flight credit. Essentially, you're breaking even on the annual fee somehow or the other, or actually getting more value. Coming back to that upgrade example, you may be targeted not to just go back to the gold, but you may be targeted to say, hey, do you want to upgrade to the Delta Platinum? And whether or not that upgrade bonus is going to make sense versus the public offer, it's definitely going to be a debatable question. Yet at the same time, if you want to know exactly what upgrade offers I got on American Express's side, feel free to check out this video here. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.